Hello everyone, happy Friday. Here's some of what's heading your way tonight to your news at 9.
The city of Joplin approved a new mask mandate at Thursday night's special meeting. I'm Chris Warner with what you need to know about the mandate and what options are available to businesses that are enforcing it.
Healthcare providers applaud the Joplin City Council for reinstating their mask ordinance. I'm Zach Dodge with the struggle the healthcare providers have gone through over the last several weeks. Coming up.
A coronavirus vaccine comes closer to market as the surge continues. I'm David Lee Miller in New York. The details coming up.
Nick Kelly's weather tonight. Jacob Leonard has sports. This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Jordan Abbey. Last night, the Joplin City Council approved a new mask mandate. The new mandate is virtually identical to one that expired back in August. Under the mandate, everyone 6 years or older must wear a mask when in public facilities or in businesses open to the public, inside public transportation vehicles, and outside when social distancing is not possible. Also includes exceptions for the masks for those who meet certain criteria, including religious and medical exceptions, sports activities, or in places or situations when it's not feasible. This mandate is set to expire at 11:59 p.m. on February 28th, but like the previous mandate, it can be extended or canceled even early at the discretion of council. There are other things for residents and business owners in Joplin to know after the passage of the city's new mask mandates. KOAM's Chris Warner spoke with Joplin's mayor about the mandate, also with a local attorney. Chris has more.
Joplin Mayor Ryan Stanley says he's hopeful the new mandate will ease the workload on local hospitals following a letter from healthcare providers to community leaders in the area.
But I know that it's not just the 50,000 residents of the city that are going to be affected by this. It's going to be the 250,000 that do business, that work, that shop here. And so I do think an ordinance in the city of Joplin will be significant.
When it comes to businesses enforcing the mandate, Mayor Stanley says the city is behind them.
Some businesses will want to enforce this very strictly. And if they do, we are there to support. We're there to back them up and make sure that they are empowered to enforce it strictly.
And local attorney Bill Fleischhaker says so is the law.
A mask requirement is just like a shirt or a shoes requirement. If the business owner wants to say, I'm not going to do business with you if you don't come in wearing a mask, a business owner has the right to do that.
Some people have said it's a violation of their civil rights under the Civil Rights Act regarding discrimination if a business refuses service to them. Fleischhaker says that's not what the act is for.
That act, that law that people are talking about, doesn't say anything specifically about masks. It says you shall not discriminate, and then it sets out the categories such as race, sex, etc., that you can't discriminate upon, but it doesn't say anything about masks.
In Joplin, Chris Warner, KOAM News.
Just as a reminder, the new mandate runs from now until 11:59 p.m. February 28th of 2021. However, like the previous mandate, it includes the option for the council to extend it or cancel it at any time. Newton County Health Department in Missouri is reporting 9 more coronavirus-related deaths. Officials say all of the patients were residents at a long-term care facility and that the deaths occurred over the last few weeks, but the total number was just reported to the county. Health Department says the facility did follow state guidelines. Newton County's death toll is now at 47. Jasper County Health Department is also reporting another death. The health department says it was a man in his 60s. This is Jasper County's 71st COVID-19 related death. Nick Kelly joining us now with our first look at weather. Nice mild evening we have going on right now.
Yeah, and even though some of us have picked up on a little bit of light rain, temperatures have been not much to complain about really, especially after we hit a high of 70 degrees today. A low today so far was 61, but the rain has been on the increase. What started out during the day as pockets of light drizzle, we're seeing more light showers across southwestern Missouri and along the Oklahoma-Kansas line. Right along the cold front, parked right on top of Interstate 44. That's going to be sticking around for much of this weekend, keeping the rain chances around and temperatures chilly, pretty much where we are right now. Most of us sitting in the 50s. I think that's where we'll be for tomorrow. We'll break down the rest of the week ahead of us here in a bit, Jobby.
Chris, Nick, that's your name, right? You haven't changed your name. I don't know why.
It could be Chris if you want.
It could be, well, you know, we'll say Nick.
Okay.
All right, man. Thanks so much. The Lamar Police Department yesterday arrested a man who they say was trying to sexually assault a woman. Police say the suspect also assaulted another man who tried to help the woman. Formal charges have not yet been filed. Some healthcare providers applaud the city of Joplin for reinstating its mask ordinance. They say weeks of increasing cases caused a lot of stress, also hardship in the healthcare system. KOAM's Zach Dodge has this story.
Maria Bailey has been in healthcare for 16 years, but has never seen a time when it was more difficult for the entire industry.
If I were working in ER right now, it would certainly be a lot more stressful.
She has past experience in the ER, but is currently a physician assistant at Access Family Care. Over the last several months, she's seen closures, restrictions, and updated policies to protect against COVID-19.
It's been, I would say, at the very least, disruptive to everyone.
We have staff members for the first time that have gotten COVID in the last few weeks.
In local hospitals, that stress is amplified, especially for those workers in their COVID units.
It's just really pushed everybody to the edge.
Mercy Hospital has 44 COVID patients and Freeman has 54, each of them needing a lot more care than many patients would normally need, and a higher percentage needing ventilators and other intensive care.
The normal workflow of a COVID patient is more stressful with the PPE, the personal protective equipment we have to wear. It's definitely more stressful on the nurses.
That intensive of a environment with wearing those kinds of suits all day long is extremely hard on staff. And these patients aren't they're here for longer periods of time.
Dr. Dennis Estep at Freeman also explains that it's a stressful time for families since they can't even visit their sick family members.
These nurses and the therapists that deal with them, they get to know them, and that's hard emotionally on the staff too.
Mercy, Freeman, and Access Family Care applaud the Joplin City Council for reinstating the mask ordinance.
That is just the best thing and the best news, and I've been happy all day about that.
In Joplin, Zach Dodge, KOAM News.
Mercy, Freeman, and Access Family Care were all part of a letter sent to Joplin and area cities this week urging for those mask mandates. As this new surge of coronavirus cases continues to spread quickly, we're learning more about the timetable for distributing a vaccine, which could start as early as next month. Fox News correspondent David Lee Miller has more now from New York.
Public health officials have been banking on a vaccine to bring an end to the coronavirus outbreak, and on Friday, they got one big step closer. Drug maker Pfizer applying for FDA emergency use authorization for its vaccine, which according to trials is 95% effective. And if it goes well, Americans could start getting vaccinated as soon as the middle of next month.
What will happen is we will announce an FDA advisory committee date. We could literally be looking at authorization of this vaccine within weeks.
First in line for the vaccine, frontline healthcare workers and those considered high risk. The company says it plans to have 50 million doses available this year and 1.3 billion for next year. But ultimately, the timing of the rollout will be up to the FDA.
I don't want to speak for the regulatory agencies. I don't want to create neither pressure to them, and it's not appropriate. It is in their hands.
Meanwhile, the virus continues to rage with an average of about 150,000 new cases every day. State and local governments are implementing new restrictions to try and stop the spread. But they're taking a heavy toll on local businesses, many of which have been forced to close their doors after being deemed non-essential.
We're talking about 150,000 people that are going to be laid off, and we will have to lay off our staff again, coming up to Christmas. That's 150,000 families.
Secretary Azar says once approval for the vaccine is given, distribution will start within 24 hours. In New York, David Lee Miller, Fox News.
KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14 takes this time to honor one of our four state heroes. Marvin Wolf served the U.S. Army from 1955 to 1956. Native of Chitopa, Kansas, Wolf was stationed in Korea and earned several awards. We are proud to thank Sergeant First Class Marvin Wolf, tonight's four-state hero. Nick is next with a complete look at the forecast and later. It's state quarterfinal night for the Webb City Cars. We're going to have highlights from tonight's matchup with Lebanon in sports.
As advertised, the cloud cover cranked into gear as we got the weekend going. It was still nice to see temperatures stay a bit mild, even though it's not going to feel mild for tomorrow, that's for sure. We went from the mid-70s yesterday, right around 74 at Joplin Regional, to lower 60s this morning, and back right around 70, although most of us had to contend with mainly upper 60s to near 70 degrees. That's all because of the cloud cover that was not here to start the morning out, but as that front parked itself on top of the I-44 corridor with plenty of moisture to go along with it, we saw the clouds first. Areas of drizzle picking up during the afternoon. Now we're seeing some more pockets of light rain in our northern counties on the Kansas side, stretching from Stockton Lake arcing back down to Pittsburgh, light rain around the Joplin area, and continuing along the Kansas-Oklahoma line. Nothing too heavy, thankfully, but if you are going to be out and about, have the umbrella handy because the rain is out there. Joplin, for example, seeing some light rain, 58 degrees with the north breeze at about 8 miles per hour. And temperature still a bit of a contrast depending on where you sit in relation to the front. If you're seeing a south wind on the warm side of the front, you're trying to hold on to lower 60s, but much of the area ranging between the middle and upper 50s across the board. And I don't think we're going to repeat today's temperatures all over for tomorrow. In fact, we were at the warmest within the next 24 hours at the 8 o'clock hour. We're only going to drop back into the upper 40s by morning and only bounce back up to 51. That's because the clouds will be staying with us as our cold front continues to be parked right along the I-44 corridor. And as warm moisture works in, the rain chances are going to pick up. Periods of on and off rain throughout the day, but at least we're not alone dealing with the front. It stretches all the way back up into New England and arcing back as a stationary front as you work into the desert southwest. Not only that, we've got a weak disturbance trying to come along the jet stream, but I see a few more systems out west that wants to keep some rain chances around over the course of the next several days. In the short term, though, it's about the front on top of us now, keeping the rain chances around and increasing those rain chances as we head toward your Saturday morning. This will drop temperatures back into the upper 40s to start your Saturday out. Maybe a little bit of a tapering off in the rain chances by lunchtime, but we're going to see those rain chances perk back up again Saturday afternoon and certainly by Saturday evening. With that in the equation, don't expect a big warm up tomorrow. 48 in the morning, 50 by noon. Only seeing us bouncing back to 51 degrees for afternoon highs. With the rain continuing all the way until Sunday morning, everyone's fair game to see half an inch to maybe an inch and a half at the most before we get a little bit of dry time come Sunday afternoon. This should be a nice little reprieve and a nice way to end the weekend. Even though Monday starts dry, here comes another wave that'll bring in some showers Monday and a good chance for rain and thunderstorms on Tuesday. Once we get past that, though, look at Wednesday and Thursday of next week. Staying chilly, sure, with 51 on Wednesday, 55 on Thanksgiving, but we're dry for both of those days before I see rain chances try to sneak back in on Black Friday. In the short term, though, Jordan, it's best to stay inside and just keep warm this weekend and you can watch football. 51 tomorrow, 50 on Sunday.
Yeah, chilly for Thanksgiving Day, but like you said, dry.
Yeah, thankfully dry, yes.
Good trade-off. Nick Kelly, thank you. Coming up, the latest on this year's presidential election.
President Trump still waging a battle over ballots, but President-elect Biden moving full steam ahead. I'm Aisha Husney in New York with the latest coming up.
2 months from today is Inauguration Day. President Trump has yet to concede and keeps fighting to uncover evidence of election fraud that he and his lawyers insist is there. Meantime, President-elect Joe Biden is in Delaware making sure he's ready to hit the ground running. Fox's Aisha Husney has more from New York.
In Wisconsin's two biggest counties Friday, they're counting ballots again. A recount paid for out of pocket by the Trump campaign. While in Georgia, where the state just finished a hand recount, election officials are set to certify those results, saying once again, Joe Biden came out on top.
I live by the motto that numbers don't lie. As Secretary of State, I believe that the numbers that we have presented today are correct.
The recounts and court challenges all amount to a huge climb for Team Trump, one that allies say is being waged on behalf of a record number of voters.
Right now there's ongoing litigation. There are, what we know, 74 million Americans that voted for this president. That's more votes than any president has gotten in history.
But with no evidence of wrongdoing thus far, some in Congress say it is time for the president to start laying the groundwork for an orderly transition. GOP Senator Lamar Alexander said in a statement, quote, "My hope is that the loser of this presidential election will follow Al Gore's example, put the country first, congratulate the winner, and help him to a good beginning of the new term."
President-elect Joe Biden seems to think time is still on his side. He met with his Democratic colleagues, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer Friday in Delaware.
We were discussing a lame duck session, the urgency of crushing the virus and easing the pain of this economic crisis.
And the president-elect moving full speed ahead, filling staff positions within his new administration and celebrating his birthday today. He turned 78. In New York, Aisha Hasni, Fox News.
Just ahead, some deja vu.
Panic buying mentality is once again sweeping the nation. I'm Ashley Strohmeyer. More on why experts say there's really no need to lose your cool and what's being done to help keep stores fully stocked.
Fearing a second wave of the coronavirus, folks worried about a lack of home essentials are rushing to stock up. Fox News correspondent Ashley Strohmeyer has more on the psychology behind panic buying.
As coronavirus cases continue rising, so do concerns of another round of lockdowns. It's this terror that's causing folks to start panic buying again.
Fear is going to dictate what people do. Yeah. And I think right now there's some fear going on.
There's a lot of psychology behind this phenomena.
People are buying because of the behaviour of their fellow shoppers, not because of their concern about a threat to the supply chain.
You see a restriction and you automatically assume, I need this, I should probably get this if it's limited.
Still, officials say they saw how consumers stocked up back in March and have shifted operations, accounting for the new ways people purchase goods during a crisis.
Our companies have been running at peak production for quite some time, 24/7 shifts, just whatever they can do, external manufacturers that they're bringing on.
Store owners are stressing, though, the pandemic did not cause a shortage of supplies then, and it isn't now.
It's not that the country was out of food, it's that everybody panicked and bought everything all at once.
Experts say an average panic buying episode lasts a little over a week. Their best advice? Practice patience.
Back off, hold off. If you can hold on for a few days, if you can hold on for a week or so, then you get to the store, the crowds will have gone, the shelves would have been restocked.
Even with an uptick in supplies, some retailers are placing limits on certain items like paper products. Ashley Strohmeyer, Fox News.
So you may have noticed change while looking at the cost for putting together this year's Thanksgiving Day feast. You'll learn more about this historic change at that when we come back. If you're planning a turkey-based Thanksgiving dinner feast, your wallet's catching a break despite the coronavirus pandemic. The cost of Thanksgiving dinner for 10 this year, 10 people, is down a few bucks over last year, and nationally it's the lowest it's been in the last 10 years. That's all according to an American Farm Bureau Federation annual survey, which finds this year's costs for 10 people is about $46.90, factoring in turkey, traditional Thanksgiving Day foods. That's down $2.01 over last year's cost. The average 16-pound bird at about $19.39, down 7% over 2019. So even though that's a national look, it may not exactly be going that way where you live. Across the 4 states, that's a national look, some good news. And real quick, okay? We're going to compare favorite foods here for Thanksgiving. Nick Kelly, your aunt's apple pie, right?
Homemade everything, including the streusel topping, and one of my cousin's green bean casseroles.
Oh, yeah. Ian, behind the camera there, green bean casserole. I have to agree. Is there green bean casserole there? I think I was stuffing. There it is. Yeah, buddy. Green bean casserole for me, and also that hash brown casserole. That's always been my favorite ever since I was a little kid. Hungry? Anyone? 30 more minutes, news, weather, and sports coming your way.
A new holiday tradition is coming to Joplin's Mercy Park, and it's designed around social distancing. Details are coming up.
Going to meet some new surgical techs who just graduated from school. They're done with high school. And hear about how their assistance has been needed more recently. Plus, Quapaw Nation uses a fashion statement to hopefully spark a conversation about history, also perseverance.
The Economic Security Corporation extends its Utility Assistance Program application online. I'm Kate Kelly with how that's helping families and protecting people from COVID-19.
COVID-19 is putting a little bit of a damper on a lot of holiday gatherings, but folks in the 4-state area are creative. Joplin's Park and Rec Department is starting up a new holiday tradition with social distancing in mind. KOM's Mike Mahoney visited Mercy Park to learn more.
Crowded family gatherings aren't recommended this holiday season with COVID-19 numbers on the rise, but you can still take a walk in the park with the people you live with. Joplin Parks and Rec would like to turn that into a holiday tradition.
This year we thought 2020, social distancing is kind of the rule of thumb. So this year we are rolling out a new holiday tradition at Mercy Park. It is called the Holiday Tree Trail.
The Holiday Tree Trail is exactly what it sounds like. 21 different businesses and organizations will soon be setting up decorated Christmas trees on Mercy Park's Lakeside Trail that folks can check out while easily staying 6 feet apart from other groups.
We just thought this was a really good event this year, since we've had to cancel several of our events because of indoor facilities, and we're trying to avoid crowding and just large gatherings. And so this event, this Holiday Tree Trail, just provided a great opportunity this year to kick it off and start a new tradition.
One of the businesses excited to be a part of the new tradition is Joplin's 4 State Trucks. They're designing a tree, but they won't let the cat out of the bag just yet.
When they said that the Mercy Park was going to have something that helped us celebrate in a different way, the guys in our fab shop here at the Chrome Shop Mafia have been tricking something out. It's going to be really something to see.
The party in the park kicks off on Tuesday, November 24th at 6 p.m. when all the trees will be officially lit. In Joplin, Mike Mahoney, KOAM News.
Joplin's Park and Rec Department has a lot of fun, socially distanced holiday events planned for Mercy Park this holiday season. There's a link to all of them in this story on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. There was a shortage of certified surgical techs over at Freeman Hospital, but the hospital, and they didn't have to look far to find people to fill some of those jobs. The hospital started an in-house paid program to train employees to become surgical techs. The hospital started with 150 people. Today, 4 of those graduated.
To learn so many instruments, you know, all doctors do things the same or different, or call the same instrument several different things. So you just got to learn all the little things and, you know, help out with the patient, you know, be their advocate.
Help indeed. Congratulations to all of the graduates. Speaking of graduation, even though Pitt State seniors won't finish classes for another few weeks, the soon-to-be graduates were doing their commencement ceremonies today. Some precautions were in place, obviously. Graduates could only have 4 guests. Masks were required, as we're seeing right there. Students also had the opportunity to continue the tradition of ringing the campus bell. Quapaw Nation hosts its first ever Rock Your Mocks Day. There they are. It's in honor of Native American Heritage Month. The goal was simple. People were encouraged to wear their moccasins, but there was an underlying important message.
You can actually see something visually to bring awareness that we're still here and that we still have our heritage and our traditions, and it brings people to ask questions. Hey, why are you wearing those today? And then we can explain and share maybe a little bit about our culture with them.
As we're seeing, this year's Rock Your Mocks also included masks. Joplin's Park and Rec Department hosted its 21st annual Turkey Shootout at the Memorial Education Center. Kids in kindergarten through 8th grade tested their basketball skills with a free throw contest. Kids competed to win a Thanksgiving turkey. How cool is that? Also some gifts from Academy Sports.
The joy that the kids get when they make a basket or like they win or something like that, they just get so excited, and it's so sweet to see.
The event was free to participate. The Economic Security Corporation is shifting more applications for assistance programs online in an effort to limit the spread of COVID-19. And it's been an increased convenience for consumers and customers as well. As KOM's Kate Kelly tells us, it's making a difference for families across Barton, Jasper, Newton, and McDonald counties.
Colder weather often means higher utilities, but programs offered through the Economic Security Corporation can help make a difference for local families.
My husband has been disabled nearly the whole time we've been married, so I had to, to do things for myself or ask for help, and I'm thankful that there's a place to call to get help for that kind of thing.
Helena says Economic Security helped get her through the winter, weatherizing her drafty older home, saving her quite a bit of money. Now Economic Security is hoping to reach more people in need, offering its utility assistance application online, no longer requiring a printed copy.
During the summer,
the state of Missouri kind of upped their game and got all of that really fixed to where it's totally virtual. A person can upload their documentation, take pictures of it. It's really amazing that this can all be done contactless now.
For people without printer or internet access, you can still fill out an application. You just need to give the Economic Security Office a call, and they'll send you everything you need in the mail. Then you can bring your application to one of their drop-off boxes located at each one of their offices. Just put it in, and you're good to go.
I don't know anything about using computers and that type of thing. I really appreciate the paper that they send out.
No matter how people apply, it doesn't hurt to put feelers out for financial assistance. Markham says many community members are struggling as a result of the pandemic, but ESC is here to help.
We're really hopeful that we will be able to maybe get some of those bills that folks were just not able to catch up with because of that loss of employment. Maybe we can get them caught up now.
Every little bit helps.
In Joplin, Kate Kelly, KOAM News.
The Economic Security Corporation's Winter Utility Assistance Program began on November 2nd, and you can enroll through March 31st. A bit later, we're going to take a look at the gym industry in many parts of the U.S.
Another blow to the fitness industry as a second lockdown looms. I'm Christina Parts-Nevelis at Crunch in New York. How the fitness industry plans to bounce back. That's coming up.
We were able to start off dry on this Friday, even though the cloud cover picked up in the hurry throughout the morning. But what started out as a dry day turned out to be a little bit wet for a good number of you, with some areas of drizzle picking up during the afternoon, and then eventually some light rain certainly beginning to pick up. But at least it looked overall relatively quiet from Indigo Sky just outside of Seneca, Missouri on US 60. We have a cold front parked right on top of the area. That's what gave us the cloud cover that quickly got going this morning. Then we saw the areas of drizzle this afternoon, and now some scattered light rain, arcing from Stockton Lake down to about Lamar, and then picking up again from Joplin. In fact, all the way along the what are the two states? The Kansas-Oklahoma state line, all the way back toward Independence. Oh, it's been a long evening already, but we are cloudy right now in Joplin, and we do have some light rain around the city. 56 degrees, a north breeze almost pushing 10 miles per hour. And in fact, if we go over to the maps, don't tell me the computer decided to call it quits on me. Nope, it didn't. Thought it locked up on me for a second. Everyone's pretty much chilly in the 50s now, but we're not done dropping yet. We'll drop back into the upper 40s by morning, only making it to 51 tomorrow because of the front not going anywhere. So it's going to keep the clouds in for tomorrow, and not to mention the rain chances that will continue to pick up throughout the day. In fact, there's the radar again that I wanted to show you. More light rain beginning to develop right on top of the area, all because of the cold front that you can see parked right on top of I-44. You have the northerly winds in our northern counties and south of the interstate. Still a southeasterly breeze trying to hold on. At least we're not alone dealing with this front. It's stretching all the way up into New England and then as far west and southwest as, well, the desert southwest. And upstairs, not only do we have a little bit of upper level energy coming by, we've got a few more systems out west that we're tracking as we head into Thanksgiving week. In the short term, though, it's all about the front right on top of us now, keeping the clouds around, keeping us cool eventually by Saturday morning, and continuing to increase our rain chances. Periods of light to moderate rain mainly throughout the course of the day. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a rumble or two of thunder, but Saturday, this time around, it's not looking like a repeat of the severe weather that we had to deal with last Saturday, so we can at least be thankful for that. I just wish temperatures would be a little bit better, but 48 in the morning, 50 by noon, and the best we can do is afternoon highs around 51. Rain chances continue through tomorrow night into, I'm going to say Sunday morning, and in that time span, we can see areas between ½ an inch and maybe 1.5 inches before we turn dry, thankfully, by Sunday afternoon as this system continues to clear out. We look quiet to start Monday out, but here comes the next system with rain and storms on Tuesday. That slides by. We'll look quiet for Wednesday and Thursday before the next system rolls in. That can bring rain chances back in by Black Friday. So it stays a bit active, but thankfully some dry time, especially by Wednesday and Thanksgiving on Thursday. But 51 tomorrow, that's the best we can do with the rain sticking around. 50 on Sunday. Eventually near 60 by Tuesday. And again, Jordan, chilly for Wednesday and Thanksgiving, but we're dry, thankfully.
Yeah, you didn't hear your computer say, "Come on, Kelly, it's Friday. Give me a break."
it's been working hard all week.
It has. Nick Kelly. All right, thank you. Coming up in sports, the Webb City Cardinals aim to move on to the football state semifinals. Plus, how a first-year head coach at Southeast Kansas is navigating his first year on the job, right in the middle of this COVID-19 pandemic.
The Webb City Cardinals are in a familiar place. The Cards play in the state quarterfinals tonight, 1 week after claiming their 21st consecutive district championship. Now, Webb City gets a home game in the quarterfinals, hosting the Lebanon Yellow Jackets. The winner moves on to the Final Four. First Lebanon possession, it was a long one. Drew McBride, though, loses it inside the 5. Eli Goddard recovers for Webb City. Later in the first, Cards get the first 7 of the game. That's Devin Weathers. Breaks a tackle and races to the corner. Cardinals have a 7-0 lead. Now, Weathers would add another short score here in the second to push the Webb City lead to 14. The Jackets with 4th and 2 from the 2 right before half. McBride barrels in. They would add the 2-point conversion to cut it to 14-8 Webb City at the break. Third quarter, though, Webb City put it away quickly. Dupree Jackson gets away from the defense, outruns everybody to the far side for the touchdown. His first of 2 scores tonight. And next Cardinals possession, it'll be Weathers getting in for his 3rd score of the game. That one on 4th and goal. And then finally, another play from Eli Goddard on defense. There for the pick, down the sideline and in for the score. 21 unanswered for Webb City in the third. Cardinals are moving on to the semifinals, winning this one 42-14. This week is the first week of practice for winter high school sports in Kansas. In Fort Scott, Clint Heffern is in his first season as the head coach of the boys basketball program. Sports reporter Andy Cioteco catches up with Heffern as he navigates through year 1 and uncertainty in the middle of the pandemic.
Find the ball before you go pursue it, okay? Find the ball. Here we go. I think I knew that I wanted to be a coach and I wanted to have a program of my own. I feel fortunate to be taking over a program that's been left in such good shape. Make contact on the shot, right?
Clint Heffern enters his first year as head coach at Fort Scott High School. As a former Iowa Mustang, Heffern was familiar with the Fort Scott Tigers and his predecessor, Jeff Delatorre.
Back then, that was when Iowa was in the SEK League, and so it was pretty cool. Got to play against Coach Dell and Coach Young when they were coaching here, and still had a relationship with Coach Dell. Talked to him and interviewed, and when I found out I got the job, yeah, it was just pretty cool and cool to look back and have some of those special memories. Good left, good left.
There are challenges that coaches face every year, and Heffern is not alone adapting because of the pandemic.
Drink on the hop. Spread out if you're taking your mask off, okay? I'm just trying to kind of roll with the punches and control what we can control and stay positive and keep the kids focused on getting better every day.
Players have responded well to where Heffern is taking the program.
You feel yourself right there? That should be a habit.
He's got a nice younger style. All the kids can really relate to him, and I think everybody likes the energy that he brings to practice.
He fits in with our younger players and our players, just how we like to play, fast-paced, run the ball, play our offense, and just play basketball.
Heffern says it's still surreal. He's calling all the shots.
This is my program and, leading it in the direction that I want, but it's been really good, really exciting, and especially with all the uncertainty, just being able to be out here and do something.
In Fort Scott, Andy Cioteco, KOAM Sports.
Now, the Kansas State High School Activities Association is scheduled to vote on Tuesday on a proposal to push the start date of winter sports competition to January 15th. That's a look at sports. We're back with more news after this.
As gyms nationwide are bracing for another round of shutdowns, companies like Peloton are gearing up for a holiday boom. Fox Business Network's Christina Partsinevelos has more from New York.
Already hit hard by COVID, restaurants and gyms across the country are starting to close down. Here in New York City, it could be, quote, just a matter of time, according to the mayor, and it could come as early as next week, which would be another blow to the industry, which is why we came to Crunch, a national chain, to find out how this could hurt the business.
The loss in business was cruel to the industry.
Gold's Gym went bankrupt in May, although it was bought for $100 million this summer. 24 Hour Fitness declared bankruptcy in June and closed down 100 locations. Planet Fitness recently reported a 37% decline in Q3 revenue. I caught up with the CEO of Crunch Signature to get his take on what a second shutdown could mean for business.
Well, it really hurts our business to shut down again. We go back to furloughing employees. We've got to credit members their dues. It's a big challenge for us. You know, we started with 3,000 employees back in March. We're down to about 1,300 employed right now.
Shutdowns aren't the only problem for fitness chains. Our living rooms are becoming new gyms, helping consumer fitness brands. Peloton recently added 2 new products, and Mirror was acquired by Lululemon. It appears investors and customers are signaling that this is where the future of fitness lies. The spread of COVID has forced brands to find new ways to connect and improve their presence online. But many business owners feel that politicians are singling out this industry, and that could force people to never come back. In New York, Christina Parts-Neveles, Fox News.
A new Christmas special from Dolly Parton. Gonna check this out when we come back. Legendary singer Dolly Parton, actress Christine Baranski, Christmas and Netflix finally all together this weekend. Here's Fox's Steve Rappaport with a preview of the holiday musical Christmas on the Square.
You find that light and it will lead you to the part of you you lost.
Country music legend Dolly Parton is spreading holiday cheers with her new Netflix musical Christmas on the Square.
This is going to be such a perfect thing, and I got lucky to get to write all the music for the movie. I wrote 14 original songs.
It's a nostalgic, yummy family film, but it's a spectacle and it's magical.
The film centers around the Scrooge-like character Regina Fuller, played by actress Christine Baranski. She plays a wealthy woman who schemes to sell the small town she owns and grew up in to a mall developer and evict the residents on Christmas Eve. But her plans change when she encounters an angel.
A lot of the imagery and a lot of the theme is finding your inner light. And when my character lights that lantern alone in her living room, it unlocks the little secret compartment that shows the Bible, and then it unlocks her history. Finding the light opens her up.
The cast says the movie delivers a timely message.
I just love that it's a message of goodness and of unity.
We've gone through bad things before, and I really think that God is in this. I really think that He's teaching us some things about ourselves, and I hope that we're learning it well.
The Christmas musical premieres this Sunday.
This town is being sold, so let's avoid disaster. It's in my jurisdiction to hand you this eviction.
Steve Rappaport, Fox News.
Of course, Dolly Parton is the angel, right? That's our time for tonight. Thanks for joining us. We're going to leave you with more video of Pitt State's senior graduation. Congratulations again, guys. Be safe this weekend. Have a great weekend. Do this all again tomorrow. See you then.